what it is, what's happening YouTube? It's your boy Srtfied, and I'm back with another banger for you guys. Y'all already know what's up. If you're not a subscriber to this channel yet, what I always tell you guys, go and smash that subscribe button. You know why? Because it don't cost me nothing. It don't cost you nothing. Just click that red button for me. And if this is your first time on this channel, welcome to Srtfied Official. Now, whether you went to the extreme and lifted your Bronco 7 inches and turned it into a mall crawler like I did, or you just like to keep it simple with the aesthetics and stance that it came with from the factory, your Bronco can definitely benefit from a set of electric drop steps. Now, there are a number of different brands on the market right now that offer their version of electric drop steps, but nothing can compare to the price point of the Rough Country eboards. Now, I know, before you go crazy in the comments, it's no secret that Rough Country hasn't had the best reputation in the past years. However, with my current lift kit that I got installed from them and now those electric drop steps, I can definitely tell you that their product quality has improved. So if you're currently in the market for some drop steps and these pique your interest, I'm going to show you how easy it is to install these and all the tools necessary to get it done. Let's get into it. So the tools needed for installation, of course, is going to be your installation instruction, an 8mm, 10mm, 13mm, and 17mm socket combo. You do not need deep sockets. Those were just the first ones that came out of my toolbox. A 5-inch extension, the appropriate ratchet sizes for your sockets and extension, a small flathead screwdriver, a pair of wire cutters, a 5mm Allen key that comes in most Allen key sets, some masking tape, isopropyl alcohol, and a microfiber rag, and that's it.
All right, so first things first, I highly recommend you lay out all your electric motor assemblies and associated mounting hardware. Don't worry, they are labeled accordingly, so there's no confusion of where they need to be mounted at. I would also include the control module and mounting bolts for that as well. Installation as a whole is pretty simple, however, it is very time consuming, so it is important that you make sure you have all your hardware ahead of time so you don't run into any issues later. Each mounting bolt for the electric motors and control module mounting bracket have their own lock washer and flat washer, and they go on in this specific order. Lock washer goes on first, flat washer second. The installation process of the electric motors for the forward, driver, and passenger sides is going to be the exact same. However, the forward side is going to be the only side that has two different mounting bolt sizes. You will have two 17mm bolts, one which is going to be slightly shorter than the other, and one 13mm bolt. The 13mm gets installed on the forward side, and the shorter 17mm bolt gets installed on the rear side. The longer 17mm bolt gets installed on the inner upper portion of the mounting bracket. Do not torque these bolts down, as that will be done at a later time. The installation process of the rear electric motors is also going to be the same for the driver and passenger sides. However, all three mounting bolts are going to be 17mm in size. One of the 17mm bolts is going to be slightly longer than the other two, and that's the one that's going to be installed on the inner upper portion of that mounting bracket. Again, do not torque these bolts down. It will be done at a later time. Next, on the driver's side, right in the middle between the front and rear electric motors, install the control module with the electrical connectors facing to the rear with two 17mm bolts that you can fully torque down. Next, on the interior, remove the front and rear door seal trim cover plates on both the driver and passenger sides. If you have a rear floor mat installed like I do, now's the time to remove that. Move both your driver and passenger seats to the most forward position, because it's going to make it that much easier for you to access and remove the driver and passenger seat belt trim covers. Those trim covers are a little bit hard to get off, but with a little bit of tugging, they will pop loose. Just be careful, because those tabs are plastic. And just for quick reference, these are all the tab locations for the driver and passenger side seatbelt trim covers. Next, it's time to install the wiring harness, and though it looks a little intimidating, it's a lot more simple than it looks. So on the control module itself, each connector is a different size and color. So as long as you plug in the appropriate size and color, you should be good to go. The next strands are going to be labeled according to each location of your electric motors. So front left, and front right, rear right. The strand that has the right side motor locations is actually going to get routed across the middle cross member above the drive shaft and fuel tank to the respective motor locations. The next strand is going to have your positive and negative battery leads, which is going to get routed along the pinch weld and up into the engine bay to your batteries. The last strand is going to have your black, white, and brown wires, which is going to get routed through your rear drain plug into the interior of the vehicle. Next, you're going to remove the rear driver's side drain plug by pressing up on it from underneath the Bronco and then using a small flathead screwdriver in order to disassemble it. After that, you're going to use a set of wire cutters in order to cut out those 4 tabs in order to be able to fit your wire strands through it. The next step is completely optional, but I did use a Dremel to smoothen out those sharp edges. Next, run your wire strand with the brown, black, and white wires through your drain hole and through your modified drain plug, and then reinstall the drain plug by pressing down from the top. Next, you're going to run the white wire of that harness strand underneath the carpet to the passenger side of the vehicle. The brown and black wires are going to remain on the driver's side only. This was probably the most challenging portion of this install for me because the carpet was not trying to give, and trying to run that white wire across that center hump was a pain in the butt. So just be careful and be patient, but this is probably the hardest portion of this install. Next, we're going to pre-position the door sensors and magnets. The rear door sensors are going to have your butt connectors that plug into your white and brown wires, and the front door sensors are going to have your U connectors, which is actually your ground, that gets installed on the 8mm bolt on the lower seat belt retaining bracket on both the driver and passenger sides. Next, I highly recommend using masking tape in order to properly position your sensors and magnets before permanent installation. On the rear doors, driver and passenger sides, I did have to use the top hinge because the bottom hinge would not allow enough space in order to properly close the door. Next, on the front driver and passenger side doors, I installed the sensor right below the door latch and used the rubber stop on the door itself as a guide of where I installed the magnet, right in the middle. Next, you're going to install the red and black harness power and ground wires to your battery, and as long as your sensors and magnets on each door is positioned correctly, you should be able to see the electric motors retract. You do have to have both the front and rear doors closed in order for them to retract on each side. If for some odd reason that does not happen, check your fuses or check the magnet and sensor placements. Once everything operates the way it should and everything is aligned properly, at that point you can permanently install the sensor and magnets. I do suggest you use some rubbing alcohol and a microfiber rag to clean the surfaces before permanently installing those sensors. After you permanently install the magnet and sensors, make sure you connect the override switch and route it to your preferred location of where you're going to mount it. I chose to mount mine underneath the dash. Once you're done with that, you can reinstall all your trim pieces on the interior of your Bronco, starting with your seat belt trim covers and then your door sill cover plates. Next, it's time to install the driver and passenger side step boards. Now, each step board has 2 brackets that move freely inside those channels. Those channels have to be properly aligned on each electric motor in order for the step to sit freely before you actually install the screws. Once the step boards are installed, there's plenty of room for adjustment based on your personal preference before you install the 4 5mm Allen key screws, which can be accessed underneath the step boards. Once the step boards are fully installed, now it's time to torque and tighten all your mounting bolts for your electric motors. The last step is to connect the front and rear courtesy step lights on both sides in your preferred location. I highly suggest you clean off the area with rubbing alcohol and a microfiber rag, and then cleaning up all your wiring with the provided zip ties in the kit. I do suggest that you make sure that all your wiring is away from any heated or movable surface to where you don't run into any issues later on down the line. Again, the kit provides you with plenty of zip ties to be able to do so. And once you connected all your lights and tucked your wiring, that's pretty much it. Enjoy your new drop steps. And just for quick reference, this is how bright those courtesy step lights are at night.
Now, installation took me about 3 to 4 hours from start to finish, and you can do this as well in your garage or driveway if you have all the tools required that I mentioned in the beginning of this video. So I hope this video finds you all helpful. But that's gonna wrap it up for today, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Don't forget the hashtag salute and certified drip on all your pictures and videos to show love and support to the channel. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Srtfied_official. And until next time, YouTube, I hope y'all have a good day.